Jet Set Radio! Video game music is very important. So important, but yet so underrated in terms of what people look forward to in their games that I don't think people know what they got until it's gone. Think about it, it's music that we're going to hear every time we boot up the game, so it's got to be impactful and it's got to be memorable. I feel like when it comes to making a video game, unless it's specifically designed as a music game, video game music is typically the last thing thought about during development. Occasionally you'll get the odd game that has some exceptionally well-produced soundtracks, but most of the time it's just audio wallpaper that serves an objective purpose of setting the scene and nothing else. Now don't get me wrong, it's a video game, it's not an album, so the gameplay and fun factor matter first and foremost, but I think an original soundtrack or OST goes a long way, more than the average gamer thinks. Sure, video game music alone cannot create moments like this, but can attribute to the memories of those moments, considering how great music is for invoking nostalgia in our minds according to psychological studies that I quickly googled to seem smart for my audience. Some of you may not know this about myself, but outside of video games, which is my primary hobby, I'm a huge music guy. Probably even longer than I've been a video game guy. I did some music production in college, played some instruments for years, I was in a band. Typically, I listen to hip hop music, I also love me some jazz, R&B, house, and soul. So of course, as a fan of both video games and music, it always warms my soul when the two collide at its very finest and produces amazing original soundtracks. Sonic Adventure 2, Jet Set Radio, Final Fantasy 7, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Halo, Cuphead, Doom. These are just some of my favorite video game original soundtracks. Think of some of your favorite games of all time and imagine playing those same games with the music turned off with nothing but the sound effects to carry the mood along. If you can comfortably play Mario Kart Street Fighter with zero music, then I cannot trust you one bit. You are very sus. Think of some of the most iconic gaming moments. First level of Super Mario Bros, Tetris, Ocarina of Time title screen, picking your starter in Pokemon. Sure, those moments are great in their own respective rights, but without the iconic music to back it up, it fails to create the right mood and impression, which could ultimately make it less different from other gaming experiences. I think we can all agree that no matter what game you're playing, the music should at least set some sort of mood and be memorable. I'm not saying every game's OST should sound like it was produced by Quincy Jones, even though that would sound fucking fire. But damn it, when video game music is good, it can make bad games and bad levels worth playing. Take for example Sonic R, one of the worst racing games ever made. Some of the most garbage and uninspired level design and graphics. But that soundtrack though? Funny thing is, Sonic games tend to have amazing soundtracks no matter how good or bad the game is. Like, people have slandered Sonic, like the series, for nearly 2 decades at this point, but I've heard nobody ever say anything remotely negative about the music. Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone, Angel Island Zone are all classic stage music, and everyone and their grandmother knows all the lyrics to City Escape and Pumpkin Hill from Sonic Adventure 2. It's just the lore at this point. I'm pretty sure people only want Sonic Heroes 2 because of how catchy the theme song is. The band Crush 40, who did Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and Sonic Heroes themes, didn't have to go as hard as they did when they made those songs. They sang Open Your Heart and Live and Learn with their whole souls. They did that for something that looks like this. It's a video game. It's not Eurovision. Like, you don't see Mario having a big band orchestra for his soundtrack, so why should, oh wait. Oh, they did do that, and that was pretty good. Even Water and Ice levels, the most despised levels in all of gaming, arguably have some of the best music, low-key, high-key even. I think that the developers knew that the concept and designs of a Water and Ice stage is undoubtedly counterproductive to retaining the state of flow in a video game. There is nothing exciting about moving significantly slower or sliding across the floor uncontrollably, so they balanced it out with having some of the best music in the game. Dire Dire Docks from Super Mario 64 is probably one of my least favorite levels in the game. I know, here's my number, you can send me death threats. But the music is the closest thing we have to music manifestation of water. Playing this song will make water pour from your speakers. I'm pretty sure 99.9% of gaming channels on this website have used this song in a video. I know I have. Going back to Sonic just for a second, everyone in the fucking galaxy will agree that water and ice stages in the Sonic game, with the flow state of gotta go fast and holding that momentum, are a worse mix than Oreos and sardines. However, why is every single water and ice level theme in Sonic games Billboard Top 40 dance floor bangers? Hydrocity, Ice Cap Zone, Aquatic Mines, Aquarium Park. Check out Donkey Kong Country. Okay. Classic platformer for the Super Nintendo and Donkey Kong's first independent outing without Mario. With all that pressure, the music must be amazing from the start, or else it's gonna lose people. Out the gate, we nailed the jungle theme off rip with a good sense of tempo to get players excited. Then it throws us in a atmospheric cave theme that's also catchy but slows things down just a little to help people focus on their jumps. So as we approach the water level, things slow down even more, but we get hit with this timeless classic. Licensed music soundtracks for video games also deserve some acclaim as well. Sure, it isn't original music made for the sole intent of being put in a game, but usually it's used for games that are trying to replicate or are inspired by real life settings, events, environments, time periods, so on and so forth. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 and Jet Set Radio and Jet Set Radio Future soundtracks really knock it out the park in capturing a balanced mix of what a young, angsty teenager was listening to in like the late 90s to early 2000s. Lots of rock, punk, hip-hop, all that kind of stuff. Funny enough, my first introduction to rock and metal music were from those games, believe it or not. The Def Jam games, of course, had the best soundtrack packed to the brim with rap, hip-hop, which is so good that it's a crime that a physical soundtrack was not sold separately, and it's also a travesty that we don't have a remake of these games to play. Get to work on that, EA. Chop chop, baby. Look, I just want to hear Keith Murray tell me he's gonna smack the flavor out of my mouth. That shit is hilarious.
Hey you, come here. I'll smack the flavor out your mouth.
You could throw in a bunch of racing games too, like Gran Turismo, Need for Speed, Burnout and Wipeout. Can't forget Burnout, very slept on soundtrack and game. Have to mention every huge music game, and that's during that music game phase: Guitar Hero, Dance Dance Revolution, Just Dance, Rock Band, etc. But of course, I have to talk about the Grand Theft Auto series. Vice City and San Andreas have one of the best licensed soundtracks for any piece of entertainment media ever. Catches the soundscape perfectly for both the 80s and 90s respectively via radio stations that you'll be listening to a lot while you drive around. In fact, the radio station selections of music / added commentary to capture an authentic radio vibe is so damn good that people have told me that they've just sat down in a car in GTA just to listen to the radio. Not even driving anywhere, or doing a mission, just to listen to the music. You know the music is so good that it can take people's attention away from the gameplay. Now, you know what I'm going to ask you guys. What is the best radio station in GTA, and why is it Fever 105? I know, right? It's so obvious, you know, I didn't know why I had to even ask that question. Okay, it's obviously Fever 105. Everyone comment down below what's your favorite radio station from GTA 5. Well, no, just GTA in general. And so far in this video, I've only spoken about platformers, open world games with licensed soundtracks, a few racing games and sports games here and there, but I think that there are two genres in video games that share the crown in having consistently masterful original soundtracks: RPGs and fighting games.
Somebody to dry your eyes, drive me crazy.
Final Fantasy, Pokemon, Street Fighter, Tekken, Chrono Trigger, Persona, Smash Bros, Fatal Fury. These are only just a select handful of game franchises that I've listed that have fire OSTs, but I could sit here for hours listing of more from both respective genres. I think the reason why those genres tend to have great music, in my opinion, is due to a few things that they have in common. One, there are a lot of different situations and moods to work with in both genres. You might need music for slow moments, intense moments, moments of new beginnings, moments of finality, which gives producers a lot of angles to work with and experiment with, so they aren't bound to one specific setting throughout the game. 2. World building and establishing a setting are crucial requirements for them, as each moment-to-moment gameplay needs to nail the tone precisely. Not every fight or encounter will be a serious one. You might have a silly moment, you might have a sad moment, or a happy moment. It's like being in the gym. Your cardio music probably doesn't sound the same as your weightlifting music. You might like to jog to some Daft Punk, and then you might like to bench press to some Big L. Last but not least, number 3, sound design in those games are very important, especially in fighting games. The amount of thought that goes into creating the sound effect for a simple punch hitting someone is deeper than you think in terms of just sounding good. Things like sound cues are beneficial to players to micromanage their attention in the heat of battle to know how to react. So you're probably thinking to yourself, what's the point of this video? Well, it's just an excuse for me to talk about video game music for a while because I love video game music, but let me try and end this video on a more stronger note. Pun intended. The general feeling surrounding video game music is that most of the time nobody really asks for it or even considers it when thinking about a new game that's coming out. It's not something that is held in high regard, such as graphics or gameplay or DLC, for a good reason, of course. You know what I said at the beginning, it's a video game first, of course, it's not an album. But going back to my comment I made about the band Crush 40 who did the theme for the Sonic games from the Dreamcast era, not needing to put their whole soul into making a theme for a blue hedgehog video game mascot. Well, when I think about it, why not? Just because it is for a video game doesn't mean it can't have effort put into it. But it might not seem like it matters overall, but to be honest, gamers don't rave and rant for better music in games, but when they do get it and it's good, it is very much appreciated. So much so that it can take a lot of great experiences and turn them into memorable experiences. Which is why I think video game music is important. That's a better note to end off on with this video. Anyway, it's probably a short video, I don't know. I'm just kind of recording this and seeing where it goes, but thank you for listening to me ramble on about video game music for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. Comment down below what's your favorite video game soundtrack. Y'all be easy now. Peace out, have a good one. Bye bye.